My name is Brent Baum, and I am not only your favorite contrarian, I'm the only contrarian. I'm not here to tell you what you want to hear, but what you need to hear. And that's right, I am back. Happy Thanksgiving to everyone. Hope everyone is spending time with their family, having a great time, and grubbing on some deliciousness all day, all night, all weekend. But anyways, with Thanksgiving, that must mean that there is football, and yes, there is football. 3 games. First game I'm gonna look at, I'm gonna digest, get my scalpel out, and look into is the Lions versus the Vikings. Lions are at home, 12:30 p.m. Look at the Lions been doing this year. They're 6-4 now, coming off a win against the Bears. They are won 3 straight games on Thanksgiving Day. And that's a big reason why I think that the Lions are going to win this game. I think they're going to continue that streak. You look what Matthew Stafford has done this year, 19 touchdowns, only 5 interceptions. He continues to do a great job spreading the ball to Golden Tate and Marvin Jones and Kenny Galloway. He has a lot of receiving weapons, despite the fact that they have a very pedestrian running attack, ranked 28th in the NFL. I still like with the Lions this year. I still think they've been playing very well. I like what their defense does. In the secondary, I love Darius Slay. That's one marquee matchup I'm looking at. Slay versus Thielen. Thielen has over 900 yards this year. He's having a career year. But I just think that the Vikings, as much as Case Keenum is playing well, and he's absolutely right, if it's not broke, why fix it? Why fix it? Excuse me, I'm looking at that. I'm stumbling on words right now, but why fix it? So they're playing very well. You see that they're 8th in the NFL rushing the ball. Latavius Murray and McKinnon are doing very well. They do a good job running the ball. And Case Keenum is doing a good job of spreading the ball to Diggs and Thielen. They're still finding ways to score points on offense. Their defense is definitely one of the best defenses with Harrison Smith, Xavier Rhodes, and Everson Griffin and Danielle Hunter rushing the passer. And then the linebackers got very good linebackers, Anthony Barr and Kendrick. So as a whole, this Vikings team is still very good. They're 8-2, had a very impressive win at home last week against the Rams. But I think eventually this Case Keenum mojo, not broke, why fix it? It's going to eventually get broken one of these games. And if it comes down to a shootout, which I think it just may be, I don't think that Case Keenum will outduel Matthew Stafford. And I like the Lions in this matchup. I had the Lions win this game. I would say 28-24. That's why I have the Lions 28-24. Next, looking at the Cowboys versus the Cowboys versus the Chargers. Cowboys, they've been getting obliterated recently. They got obliterated by the Eagles 37-9, and then they got obliterated by the Falcons 27-7. No Zeke, no Tyrone Smith, no Sean Lee. All these injuries, plethora of injuries. They're 5-5. But it is a tradition that Dallas always plays on Thanksgiving, and they've been playing pretty well at Thanksgiving lately. And when I look at the Dallas Cowboys against the Chargers, I think even though they've had issues going against elite pass rushers, and this is not the game they want to go against. You look at what Melvin Ingram and Joey Bosa have done this year. 10.5 sacks with Joey Bosa, 8.5 sacks with Marvin Ingram. They get after the quarterback. Tell Pittsburgh's finest Nathan Peterman that. They forced Nathan Peterman to throw 5 interceptions. That heavy of a pressure. 5 interceptions. So we look at that. The Cowboys, they got a lot to work with, but I still think the fact that the Cowboys, I think that in this matchup, they had the edge for the simple fact that they have a better overall team than the Chargers. I think that Dak Prescott, he will play better this game. Dez Bryant, I look for him to have a big game because he's been very pedestrian lately. He hasn't been the same Dez Bryant that we all know. Only 500 yards this year, 4 touchdowns. But we expect him to have more of an elite level of play. But I think Jason Garrett's going to make more adjustments with the offensive line. I expect him to run the ball more. Alfred Morris, they rush for over 100 yards against the Eagles. So I do think the Cowboys are going to play better, even though I've liked how the Chargers have played lately. The Chargers have won 4 out of the last 6 games. Anthony Lynn is coming back to Texas. That's where he's from. It's an exciting game for him. They play a lot better. Philip Rivers has played better. He's developed some good chemistry again with Keenan Allen. Keenan Allen over 700 yards receiving this year. And they run the ball. They run the ball very well. You look at what Gordon has done this year. He's done a good job running the ball. Not as good as last year, but they still find ways to get the ball downfield because they have Phil Rivers. They have an explosive offense, and they're confident. I mean, the fact that they obliterated the Bills 54-24, a lot of sacks, a lot of interceptions, even though it was a rookie quarterback, and Phil Rivers is not Nathan Peterman. But I still think that the Cowboys, I still think that the Chargers are going to play well against the Cowboys in this game, but I do have the Cowboys win this game at home at the end of the day. I don't think they're going to continue to lose games 5-5. They're definitely out of the NFCs at this point in time. The Eagles are well ahead of them, 9-1, 4 games behind, but I do think the Cowboys are going to play better at home. So I have the Cowboys win this game. It's going to be a close game out of this. It's another close game, 21-17. And then next, the finale, 8:30, we got the Giants and the Redskins. Giants somehow found a way to beat my AFC team, Chiefs. Andy Reid, Chiefs in overtime, 12-9. It was a very sloppy game. I mean, you watched that game, it was a boring game to watch. I mean, it was 9-9 before they went to overtime. A lot of running. There was not much offense, but the Giants found a way to pull it out. They found a way to get it done. Eli Manning, 7 so-so year. You got to expect it. No Odell Beckham Jr., no Brandon Marshall. They got earlier in the year. And Sterling Shepard, he's been dealing with migraine headaches, so you don't know if he's going to play. But I really don't have much to say about the Giants. The Giants, I think they continue to be disappointed because they spent so much money on their defense. Yeah, their defense still gives them a lot of points. They give a lot of points. And the fact that they don't get a lot of pressure on the quarterback either. They're one of the worst teams in sacks. You would think they get a lot more sacks with Olivier Vernon and Jason Pierre-Paul, but they don't. So when I look at this matchup with the Redskins, I think that the Redskins, they're pretty upset. They are furious that they blew a 31-16 lead against the Saints. The Redskins, talking about injuries, they have had a plethora of injuries. They lost Chris Thompson. They don't have Terrell Pryor. He's hurt. He's out for the year. Those two guys are out for the year. And Chris Thompson was leading them in receiving next to Vernon Davis. So that was a huge loss for them. So in terms of this matchup, I think that the Redskins are going to have no problem. I think they're going to score a lot of points. They're still a team, even though they give up a lot of points, they're 31st in the NFL to give up a lot of points, but I still think that the Redskins, their defense will hold down the Giants. They'll lock them up. Josh Norman is going to lock up whatever receiver they have. He won't have to shadow cover them unless Sterling Shepard plays. I like the way how Kirk Cousins has played, despite the fact they don't have a receiver who's over 500 yards. They just had a plethora of injuries. You thought that the Redskins receiving core would be a lot better. I had a feeling at the start of the season they would not be as good, losing Pierre Garçon, Deshaun Jackson. Whenever you have to bring in a fresh new receiving core, that's going to create a lot of issues. And Terrell Pryor did not live up to expectations, but I do like how Josh Doxson's improved from last year. Not a whole lot of yards, but you can see he has big playability coming from TCU. You see it. Vernon Davis, he truly is the Angels one. He actually leads the team in receiving. And I just think that even though the Redskins have deficiencies with big play receivers, they still manage to get a lot of yards. Kirk Cousins is still one of the top passers this year in passing yards. I believe he's third in the NFL with most passing yards. And just as good as the Giants are, I know the Giants are hungry. They'll get some wins, more than 2 wins. But I just don't think they have enough firepower on the offensive end. It's just they don't have a running back. Even though Orleans Darkwa has played pretty well this year, it's just not enough of a running attack. To me, not enough receivers that can go against those good Redskins secondary. And also, I think the offensive line is going to struggle today. I think Kerrigan's going to get a lot of pressure on Eli Manning and make it difficult for the Giants offense to create much. And more than anything, I'd say in terms of my X factors, I do think that Josh Doxson's going to have a big game. I won't be surprised if DJ Swearinger and Josh Norman each get a pick. And I had the Redskins win this game. Easy blowout fashion, 34-17, and they will improve to 5-7. And it's going to be a good NFC divisional rivalry matchup. 2 teams that are struggling. That's what I have. And hope everybody has a great Thanksgiving day. terms of my favorite food, my absolute favorite food for Thanksgiving is probably yams and ham. And those are my favorite. I just love ham. Like I'm not, see, it's called a holiday ham for a reason. So I know people who have ham throughout the season. I don't have ham unless it's Thanksgiving. That's the only time I eat ham. And yams, same thing. I don't really eat yams unless it's Thanksgiving. You gotta build up to that deliciousness. You can't just have it every day. If you have it every day, it's not so special anymore. It's like eating your favorite piece of chocolate all the time. If you eat your favorite piece of chocolate anymore, it's no longer your favorite piece of chocolate. That's why you can't keep eating it. So anyways, I want to hear what you guys love. What are some of your favorite Thanksgiving Day foods? What do you love to cook? I love to cook. I'm not cooking this year. My mom is doing most of the cooking. I am back home. I am back in Laverack. That's where I am. I'm back on my stomping grounds. So yes, it's gonna be fun. I haven't had a great meal in a long time, so I'm looking forward to that. But anyways, like I said, keep in mind, I understand all of you are not gonna agree with the fact that I had Dallas winning this game, or the fact that I had the Lions win this game, or the fact that I had the Redskins win this game. But see, I'm not here to tell you what you want to hear, but what you need to hear. I rest my case.